a version of you that cannot be reached, not by insults, not by rejection, not by failure, not by other people's opinions of who you are and what you are worth. A version of you that moves through every storm completely intact, that absorbs every hit without breaking, that faces every loss, every betrayal, every disappointment, and comes out the other side, not just surviving, but more certain, more grounded, more completely themselves than before. This is not a fantasy. This is a state of mind that can be built deliberately, practically, starting today. It is called being mentally untouchable. And the people who have it are not special. They did not start with it. They built it. The same way you build anything that lasts. Through practice, through failure, through choosing again and again to return to themselves no matter what tried to pull them away. Today, we are going to understand exactly what it means to be mentally untouchable and how to become it. Here is what mentally untouchable actually means. Most people think mental strength means not feeling things. That the strongest people are the ones who do not cry, do not get hurt, do not feel the weight of what life puts on them. This is completely wrong. Mental untouchability is not the absence of feeling. It is the presence of something stronger than feeling. A foundation, an identity, a relationship with yourself so solid, so clear, so completely yours, that when the feelings come, and they always come, they pass through you like weather through open air. They do not destroy the structure, because the structure was built to withstand them. The mentally untouchable person feels everything. They feel the rejection. They feel the disappointment. They feel the anger and the grief and the uncertainty. But they do not become those things. There is a difference between feeling something and being defined by it. And that difference, that single distinction, is the foundation of everything we are going to talk about today. Here is how to build it. Step 1, define yourself from the inside. Most people's identity lives outside themselves. It lives in their job title, in their relationship status, in what other people think of them, in their achievements and their failures, in the approval or disapproval of people whose opinion they were never supposed to need. When identity lives outside, anything outside can threaten it. Lose the job, lose yourself, lose the relationship, lose yourself. Receive criticism, lose yourself. Fail at something, lose yourself. The mentally untouchable person has moved their identity inside. They have answered the question, who am I without all of that? And the answer is complete, clear, certain, unmovable. I'm someone who values honesty. I'm someone who does not quit. I am someone who treats people with dignity. I am someone who keeps their word. These things cannot be taken by a job loss, cannot be removed by a breakup, cannot be challenged by someone's opinion. They are yours, completely, regardless of what happens outside. When your identity lives here, inside, in your values and your character, the outside world loses its power to define you. And a person who cannot be defined by the outside world cannot be destroyed by it. Step 2. Master the art of non-attachment to outcomes. A mentally untouchable person gives their complete effort to everything they do, and then they release the outcome. Not with indifference, not with resignation, with wisdom. The wisdom to understand that outcomes are never fully in your control, that you can do everything right and still not get the result you deserve. That a rejection is not a verdict. That a failure is not an identity. That a no today says nothing about what is possible possible tomorrow. The person attached to outcomes is permanently fragile. Every result has the power to devastate them because they have placed their worth in whether the result goes their way. The person who has released outcomes is permanently stable. They are still deeply invested in the work, still giving everything to the effort. But their peace, their sense of self, their fundamental okayness does not rise and fall with whether the world cooperates. This is not passive. This is the most active form of strength available, because it requires choosing again and again in the face of every disappointment to remain whole. Step 3. Build a relationship with discomfort. The mentally untouchable person is not someone who lives without discomfort. They are someone who has learned to move through discomfort without it stopping them. Most people spend their lives organizing everything around avoiding discomfort, avoiding the difficult conversation, avoiding the challenging goal, avoiding the risk that might end in failure, avoiding the silence that might reveal the things they have been running from. And in avoiding discomfort, they shrink, slowly, consistently, until the life they are living is a small, safe, comfortable version of the life they were capable of. The practice of building mental untouchability is the practice of choosing discomfort deliberately, not recklessly, not for the sake of suffering, but intentionally expanding your comfort zone until the things that used to stop you simply do not have that power anymore. The cold shower, the difficult conversation, the goal that might fail, the silence you sit with instead of running from. Each one a small practice, each one a small proof that you can handle more than you thought you could. And with each proof, your foundation expands, your capacity grows, your sense of what you can withstand becomes something you trust rather than something you fear. Step 4. Stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided. The mentally untouchable person has learned one of the most liberating truths available to a human being. You cannot logic someone out of a position they did not logic themselves into. And trying to explain, to justify, to correct a record, to make them understand, costs you something you cannot afford to keep losing. Your energy, your peace, your time. The untouchable person looks at a misunderstanding, a false accusation, a wrong assumption, an unfair judgment, and makes a decision. Is this person someone whose understanding matters? Is this a relationship worth the energy of explanation? Is there any real chance that what I say will change what they have already decided? If the answer is no, they say nothing. They let the misunderstanding stand. They let the false narrative exist. And they return to the work. Because the work, the building, the becoming, the quiet, consistent showing up, will eventually say everything that needed to be said, without them having spent a single word defending it. Step 5. Choose your response every single time. Between every event and every reaction, there is a space. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived the Nazi concentration camps and still found meaning and freedom inside them, wrote that in that space lies our greatest freedom. The freedom to choose our response. The mentally untouchable person has made this space their home. They do not react automatically to everything that happens to them. They pause, they breathe, they ask, who do I want to be in this moment? And then they choose to be that. Not perfectly, not always, but more often than before. chaos becomes natural, until the choice becomes instinctive, until I have become someone who responds to life deliberately instead of someone who is simply thrown around by it. This is the practice. This is the path, not a destination you arrive at once and live in forever. A direction you choose every single day, every time you feel the urge to react and choose to respond instead, every time you feel your identity threatened and return to your values instead, every time you feel the pull of an outcome and release it back into the uncertainty where it always lived. Every single choice, no matter how small, is a brick. And brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day, you build something that the world can throw everything at, and it will not fall, because you built it from the inside out. And things built from the inside out do not collapse from the outside in. Become mentally untouchable, not so that nothing affects you, but so that nothing destroys you. Subscribe to Lucid Dominance. New video every Tuesday and Friday. I will see you in the next one.